Hey guys, welcome back to SUP'S Garage. On this video, I'm going to be showing you how to remove your side fairings on your 2017 to your 2021 Yamaha R6. So let's get started. All right, so I'm going to be starting on the right side of the bike, starting off with the top piece trim here. And in order to remove this trim here, you're going to have two push pins that you got to remove. You can see the first one here. And if you look further into the front, you see the other push pin you got to remove as well. All right, by using my little flathead, I'm just going to push in the center, like so. And at that point, I'm just gonna pull up on the trim piece just a little bit, just to get the clip to go up, and then I can pull it out, like so. And now moving on to the one in the front. Same thing, you're just gonna be pushing in the center. And then I'm just gonna pull up a little bit on the trim piece, like I did the other one, to pull out the clip. And at this point, we can go ahead and pull this trim piece out of the way. But I do wanna say on this corner here, it's held down by a grommet, so you're just gonna have to pull up a little bit to pull it off. And this is the piece that I was talking about that was holding on to the grommet. So I'm gonna go ahead and put this aside for now. All right, and since I'm already up here, I'm gonna be removing this bolt here. And if you follow this trim piece all the way to the front, towards the bottom, you'll see the bolt that needs to get removed. All right, the next part I'm gonna be removing is the small inner part towards the front and the inside of the fairing. And the only thing that's holding this piece down are gonna be three clips. One here, one on top, and the last one's gonna be, if you just follow this piece all the way down, you're gonna see it right here on the bottom. And they're just gonna be the same style clips we removed on the top trim piece. You just push in the center and pull them out. Starting with the top one here, just push in. I'm gonna pull a little bit out like I did the ones earlier. And it comes right out. Moving on to this one here, push in the center, pull out a little bit, and then just pull it out. Now the bottom one, I'm not gonna be able to show on camera, but it's not much to it. It's basically the same thing. All right, and once you remove all three clips, just pull this piece out, like so. All right, now we're gonna go ahead and start removing the bolts on the actual side piece fairing. We're gonna start off by removing this top one here, and then move down to this one here on the corner. All right, next the corner one here. All right, next we're gonna be moving to the very bottom of the fairing. We're gonna be removing this bolt and then this bolt here in the front. All right, now that I got those two off, I'm gonna go ahead and move on to the very back of the fairings. Right in front of the rear tire, there's gonna be another bolt that you're gonna have to remove in order to split the side fairings apart. And now we're moving to the front of the fairing. There's gonna be another bolt we have to remove right here on this bottom piece. All right, so once you got that bolt removed, since we're already down here, I'm gonna be pushing this piece slightly forward to detach it from the center piece that's actually holding both side fairings together. So you're just gonna push forward just enough to slide it out, this center piece here. All right, so we're almost ready to remove the fairing completely, but there's one more bolt that's actually in this area here towards the inside of the fairing that we have to remove in order to start pulling this fairing off. And this is the bolt here that we got to remove that's actually right underneath the radiator in order to finally get this fairing piece off. And I'm not going to be able to show you removing this on camera because it's pretty much a tight space. So I'm going to go ahead and get this one out of the way. Okay, finally, we can go ahead and start removing this piece off the bike. And in order to do that, we're gonna have to detach this little piece here that's still connected to the side fairing. Start off by pulling up to remove it from where the bolt sits into, like so. And then we're just gonna pop off this piece here by pulling back slowly all the way towards the front. All right, once you pull this part out, go ahead and continue pulling out from the front. And just be gentle with it, and it'll come right off. All right, as you can see, we got one side completely out of the way, and we're pretty much gonna do the same thing to the other side. Starting off with the top trim piece here, removing the two clips, just push in, pull up a little bit, and pull the clip out. Same with the one in the very front, which you're not gonna be able to see very well on camera. And don't forget that this piece here is held down by the grommet here on the corner. You're just gonna pull up here first. Once you pull it off, then you can pull the trim piece out. All right, next we're gonna move down to the inner piece like we did on the other side. And this side is gonna have one clip here, another clip here, which looks like it's about to come out. Right underneath that, there's a third clip, and then going towards all the way to the bottom will be a fourth clip. So let's go ahead and get these out of the way. And I'm not too sure why this clip here is different. It might have been replaced already. But we're just gonna pull up from the center, and then once you get the centerpiece out, like usual, just pull up on the plastic and the clip will come right out. Moving on to this one here. Then move on to this third one here, like I mentioned earlier. And just like before, I'm not gonna be able to show you that very bottom clip because it's too tight for the camera to fit, but it's the same type of clip, just push in the center, pull up on the plastic, and it'll come right out. Okay, and once you've already removed all the clips, just pull the piece out. Like so. And then once again, we can go ahead and start moving all the bolts to remove this side fairing piece. Starting with this bolt here that was underneath the trim, just like we did on the other side. Now moving along to these two bolts here. Moving down to the bottom side of the fairing, we got this bolt here, this one towards the middle of the fairing, and then this one on the very back. And then just like the other side, we got one more bolt that's gonna be in this area here on the inside of the fairing. All right, now we can finally start removing this side piece. Again, starting from the top first, by pulling up here first to remove it where the bolt goes in. And we're gonna disconnect these pieces just like the other side. Pull them apart, slowly. And just like before, we're gonna keep pulling off towards the very front. And then finally, we can get this side fairing completely out of the way. All right, and that's pretty much it. And obviously, in order to put these back together, just reverse the steps. I find it pretty easy to put these fairings back on. In my personal opinion, easier than the older models. But that's gonna put an end to this video, guys. Like always, if you like watching what you see, hit that like button for me. And if you haven't subscribed already, please help me grow the channel by doing so. But like always, guys, don't forget, God loves every single one of you guys. God bless you guys. And I'll see you on the next video.